Hi, this is Mary Kay with Tin Shed Designs, and I want to welcome you to the first video in my Close to My Heart Workshop on the Go Frosted Card Making Kit series. Please be sure to leave a comment to be entered in the drawing for the card making kit, as well as the 4 ink pads needed to create all of the cards in this series. The kit comes with enough supplies to make 15 completed cards. This includes all of the card bases and envelopes, papers, and accessories that you will need to make 5 each of the 3 patterns shown in the instruction sheet. It also includes the unique stamp set that was designed specifically for this kit. Today we will be making the first card listed in the brochure, Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. I'm going to be starting by stamping the 3 snowflakes in Twilight ink directly onto the card base. I'm using the photos in the instruction guide to help me with placement of the snowflakes. This instruction sheet also gives detailed measurements for cutting all of the cardstock needed for all 3 of the different card designs. This piece of olive cardstock will be one of the banners on the card front. I'm using the pinwheel border stamp and olive ink to create my own pattern paper. Please excuse my head leaning in. I would normally have the piece I'm stamping a little closer to me, but to get it in the shot I had to work a little farther out than I'm used to. Anyway, I like to start approximately in the center to make lining up my later impressions a little easier. You may find you prefer starting at the top or bottom of the piece. I suggest a few practice runs on scrap paper to decide what's going to work best for you. The clear block makes lining up the stamp very easy. So for the greeting, I'm using cocoa ink to stamp the sentiment. And you'll want to stamp it off to the right hand side to leave a little room for the baker's twine that we're going to use later. You'll notice I'm going to pull this stamp off camera for a moment. The baby wipes I was using left quite a bit of lint on the stamp. I would normally use a stamp scrubber and spritz cleaner, but I didn't have it handy when I was shooting the video. I'll be sure to have it ready next time. Now, this is where we create the banners, and I'm sure if you've watched many YouTube videos, you've seen this before. You just make a snip up the center and then cut from the outside corner to the top of the center snip, and do that on the other side, and voila, you have a banner. The second banner is a little larger and maybe easier to see how it's done. I've also seen people use a corner of a square punch to cut the tail, and that works great, but this is just as easy to do. So here I'm just kind of getting a feel for the placement of the banners before I glue them down. And we're finally to a part where we can get everything put together, which is always the fun part. I'm using the Bonding Memories glue pen because it's a two-way glue. When it first comes out of the pen, it's got a blue tint. As long as it's blue, it's repositionable. This is important for me because I tend to want to pull things back up and fiddle with it. And on a previous card, I used double-sided tape, and I tried to pull up one of the banners after I'd stuck it down, and I ended up tearing the card base. This was extra frustrating because I was filming it and had to start over. So here I am. I'm going to be butting up the second banner to the first one for a seamless look. I noticed afterward that there was a tiny sliver of overhang, so I just used the card base as a guide to trim off the excess. And that's right there, and it's just a tiny sliver. So for the greeting, I'm going to take baker's twine that comes in the kit and wrap it around the cardstock several times and tie it in a cute bow. Okay, now let me apologize for the state of my hands for the moment. I operate a rescue ranch, and my hands really take a beating on a daily basis, so my manual dexterity isn't what it used to be, and as you can see, I struggle a little with this part. To be honest, at any given moment, I've got cuts, scrapes, bruises, and even on occasion, a broken finger. But, no worries. It gets done in the end, so, it's all good. Now I'm going to use foam tape to help the greeting sit level on the ruby cardstock. Once I get that on there, you just peel the paper off that back of that foam tape and center it onto the ruby cardstock, and it's ready to go. To attach the finished greeting, once I get to that part, I'm sorry. There we go. Once to attach the finished greeting, I'm going to use bonding memories glue again to adhere it in place, which is a good thing because, as you'll see in a moment, I needed to fiddle with the placement, and that would have been a problem if I'd used some other type of adhesive. And here we go with the fiddling. I'm actually surprised I didn't do it more on this card. So these are the glitter gems that come with the kit, and I'm going to use my piercing tool to help remove them from the plastic backing sheet. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of trouble here with this second glitter gem. It just didn't want to release from the plastic. So I finally decided to move on to the one right next to it and, get things going again. Sometimes things just don't work out the way you want them to. Anyway, the piercing tool also makes the gems, placing the gems really easy. You get totally precise placement, and which I can never do with my chubby fingers. And there you go. That's our completed card. So thanks for watching.